In their simplicity lies their strength. Their territory are offices and schools where they reduce productivity of workers and students to the absolute minimum. Who are we talking about? About mobile games, of course. This time not just about any mobile games, but about those so-called IO games, about which we have talked about a little bit already in our videos about Battle Royale and mobile games. These games washed over the globe in a wave of popularity, similar to the one we see nowadays with Battle Royale genre. It all began on April 27th in 2015, when young Brazilian developer Matheus Valdares announced a new game, Agario. This Agario game basically takes the whole first phase from the famous game Spore, where you play as a small cell that eats its way through life to be the biggest one in the pond. Anyway, we find it very interesting that it took so many years before someone got this idea, since Spore came out in 2008. Agario takes this cell game and simplifies it as much as possible, both the gameplay and the graphics. All we are left with are colorful circles on what appears to be a squared paper sheet. And you know what? It is fun. Though it didn't take long until new cell skins in form of flags, memes or even famous people started to appear in-game. This made the game even more hilarious and entertaining, mainly because it created a pathway for many absurd situations such as Obama eating Russia or vice versa and so on. This game of course made it really fast into the attention of internet celebrities that got this game massively recommended from their fans. The most popular one, Felix Schellberg, also known as PewDiePie, fell in love with the game so much he even created several videos about it, called, for example, Reddit wants to eat me.
Reddit eat me! You Reddit! It clearly says don't eat me!
The same applied for YouTubers such as Jacksepticeye, Markiplier or Vanas Gaming. They made the game skyrocket in popularity, and if somebody didn't know this game until this point, now everybody knew it. And needless to say, played it. Thanks to these events, a whole new market in video gaming industry got created, and everyone wanted to take his bite of this trend and make as much money as possible while doing it. Therefore, new IO games started to appear, and even though Agario had nothing in common with the IO domain, it became a symbol to these simple games and all of them started using it in their names. That is why we now have a multiplayer version of classic Snake in IO style, called just Slither IO, or clones of many popular AAA games. Example of that might be a game called Zombs Royal IO, that we consider to be the one of the best IO games ever, which takes all the important elements from PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and some from Fortnite and shoves them into top-down 2D form. And very entertaining one, to be honest. Although entertainment is something that all of the IO games have in common, probably due to their simplicity and accessibility, including some really crazy pieces that try to combine it with other popular things such as the fidget spinner simulator, Spins.io, that more or less died with the popularity of fidget spinners. One of the most entertaining ones might as well be the Hole IO, which is a simulator of a flat black hole rolling through the streets, eating anything in its path and getting bigger and bigger while doing it. Eventually you can eat the whole city if you manage to eat enough, and it is really extremely funny to eat your way through the city and end up eating whole skyscrapers or other players. It is basically Agario taken to a whole nother level of entertainment. Also, every round takes just around 2 minutes, so it is quite fast paced. We shouldn't forget to mention Super Hex IO, which is also very funny. In Super Hex you have to acquire the biggest space on the map, but if someone touches your trace outside of your own territory, you will lose everything. That makes going for big pushes very risky, but sometimes risk equals profit, so you have to decide what to do. The whole IO gaming genre's end, on the other hand, is nowhere to be seen. It is still going strong with thousands of players in almost every game. One of their biggest pros is their size. You can play the game on your phone or PC, where you can find Agario even on Steam. And you don't even have to download it, you can play it easily in your browser. If you haven't tried some of the games mentioned above, you can do so in our category IO games, and if you have, why not spend a while in your favorite game again? And as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and try all of these games we mentioned on PacoGames.com. You will find the links in the description.